Alright. Weird pack. We start with a weird one. Um, Reaper's like pretty good, but green black is real bad. And I just hate taking gold cards first. So they lead you down one path. But like you can abandon them, I guess. Like you could just take Reaper here and then get past like uh, Lightning Strike, something like that, and you can take that and just abandon the Reaper. Because I mean, what are we missing out on here? The probably next best card is also a gold green black card, which is unfortunate. Another reason to not take Reaper, because the next guy might take this. But what else are we gonna take? Another green card? Or Battle-Wise Valor is like not even close to the same power level. I guess I'll just take Reaper, but I am more than willing to abandon it if it doesn't pan out. Well, this thing's really big. When the set came out, I was asking everybody, like if they had one of these. Like obviously the creature is the guy on top of this giant monster. Oh, I just got a text. Um, but if you had this monster, this like flying cat thing, this like Puma Pegasus, what would you name it? Like, if you had a pet one of these, what would you name it? Um, so you guys can chat about that. As for the pick, it's like read the bones to stay with this, or best card in the pack is Vaporkin. I guess I just take read. These black decks like never work out. These green black decks. It's just like suicide, but I can't. It's a really slow train wreck. I can't stop myself. It makes so much sense, like like logically, but it doesn't actually work in reality. Now we get a freaking Wingsteed Rider third, so I mean, if you really want to stick to your guns, Blood Toll Harpy is fine. I've called this thing Blood Troll Harpy this entire time until literally this moment when I read the card, so that I didn't look stupid in front of you guys. Blood Toll Harpy is it's totally fine and playable, but like, are you really gonna take this over a Wingsteed Rider? And Vaporkin third is like reasonable, not really a huge signal, but something to think about. But this card is just unreal. It's like probably the second or third best common. I guess third, right? Goes like Gray Merchant, Lightning Strike, this thing. But I've actually taken this over Lightning Strike before, if the pack dynamic was correct. Well, Super Late Riptide and God's Willing should go about now. Let's see what you guys are saying so far. Scott, Steve, Carl, you guys, you guys have some weird names. I never understood naming animals human names. It's something it doesn't click for me. Um, so yeah, it's like God's Willing or Griptide. Griptide's the better card, probably the fourth best common after the three I already named. But God's Willing is semi on color. It could just be white black too. I guess I'll take God's Willing, even though Griptide's a little better. Huh. So now we get some pretty like solid white cards. They're not amazing, but they're pretty solid. And this thing, which is pretty unreal in the right deck, but even though it looks like we could be white black, we're not actually a white black deck that uses Scholar. You know what I mean? Like we have one black card, and it's like pretty controlling card that might work well as Scholar. But then the two white cards are a little more aggressively stanced. I think I'm just going to take Dauntless and try and go more aggressive. Um, the reason I take this over this, even though they're like comparably power-wise, comparable power-wise, this effect is a lot harder to get. You can get like Bestow guys, and ooh, look at that. You can get bestow guys, you can get the 3 drops and all that, but this effect is pretty hard to mimic. So yeah, God's Willing is a nice gift. This card is probably a reasonable pick here too. Like if you went down that black path, you would take this. This thing's actually not that great, and this guy's obviously just filler, but this card is actually excellent. But we're obviously taking God's Willing. I got 10 seconds to read the chat. Yes, it has been a while. What's up, Narwhal? How's it going? I'm jealous of your life sometimes. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, Bellful Eidolon is insane. Oh my god, is that the Chris Van Meter? I hope it is, because I'm giving him mod status. How do I do that? OP? Struggling with lightning. Pretty late Scholar. I guess we just take it. The best card in the pack is Dragon Mantle by far. This thing's fine, but I'm not going to be like this green-white heroic deck yet, at least. You can make an argument for Dragon Mantle here. You really could. I'm going to take Scholar, though. Yeah, Chosen. Only playable. But Battle-wise Valor that I was like, you might have to first pick this if you don't want to take one of the green cards. Table. So that's something. Even though this might look like a signal to, the untrained eye, and not pick Feral Invocation, remember that there were like 3 premium green cards in this pack. So this isn't actually necessarily a symbol. Signal, excuse me. I haven't streamed it so long, I forgot how to talk. This thing's actually excellent. Totally main deckable and quite good. Something that I'm always happy to have in the pool. And they go pretty late because they are a little narrow. They don't stack well. Like the first one's pretty damn good. The second one's like alright, and the third one's not that great. But happy to take it here. Pretty much all unplayables. This guy can do some work sometimes. Natalie Portman here, not the biggest fan. I've sideboarded her a lot, but I've played against enough of them in these 8-4s that somebody out there thinks it's playable. I really don't think it is. I guess I checked this thing. I guess the red one is better. I'm more likely to be red than green. I mean, it's so marginal either way. Ooh, glare. Oh, these, ooh, 14 pick and null. These, self-hate, white on white crime here cards are really, obviously except for the red one, are actually really good in limited. You should like actively pick them up because not only are they like really good and efficient when in the matchup where it's good, but also like if you don't actively take it over like a filler card, that means that somebody else has this card that's going to be good against you because by definition it's good against you because it's on color and you guys get it. So it's like a combo hate / sideboard draft, and it's really good in both ways. So I think that makes it better than like a filler 3-drop that is pretty easily replaceable. The set is so deep that you can actually take picks like that like pretty aggressively. Like I would take those cards like 6th or 7th, which is like pretty high, but you can get away with that because you get so many playables so late. This pack's not exciting. This is just the clear best card and on color. Well, I think we found our second color. The problem is we have literally 0 black devotion spell or black devotion symbols since we're not playing this thing. I'm not going to hide it quite yet, but so it's actually not even that great. What do you guys think? I mean, the other option is like take a horse. What's up, guys? Sorry if I'm missing stuff you're saying in the chat. I can't see it as this is going. I'll be answering a bunch of questions between rounds, but I'm just gonna take Gary. He's has the highest upside. Ah, rewarded. Look at this. It is kind of awkward to take these like kind of bogged down control cards when we have like a couple aggressive cards. I guess we don't really have that many aggressive cards. We just have this thing, which is obviously fine in a defensive deck as well. And we have like God's Willing, which is kind of good with this thing. You can play this on 6 with God's Willing up so that you can make sure you get your monstrosity off. Although if they have an instant speed removal spell, then that's obviously bad. Or at least scarier. This thing's real nice too. But this thing's probably like top uncommon. Can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of an uncommon that's better than this. What were we saying about being rewarded? Alright, so now we have this thing. We just need a bunch of cheap defensive cards. We need like more of Horned Turtles and the like 3/3 Defender for 2. And I don't know, it's just some 3-drop creatures and hopefully removal spells, but those are kind of rare. This thing is nice in this type of deck though. We need more Black Devotion symbols too. So like here, I'm gonna take this thing. We don't need a third God's Willing. God's Willing is definitely good, and I would definitely play 3 in an aggressive deck. In a controlling deck like this, I think I would only want 2 max. Maybe I'd play the third. But I'm not going to take it over a creature. I mean, we only have 7 creatures. Let's hide this thing. And yeah, I mean, it's a defensive card, and there's a bunch of cool interactions with this card. This is like one of the more dynamic cards in the set. You can do a lot of cool things with the mill, which I'll get to maybe in deck building or in game. Alright, 1 mana guy. Even though this is like theoretically an aggressive card, it blocks just fine. You know, not the turn you cast it, but it blocks just fine. And if you go like turn 1 this, turn 2 you've chosen it, or put an ordeal on it if we get one of those. It's obviously insane. And I'd rather take the black creature over the white creature. I'd rather take the 1-drop over the 3-drop, and I'd rather take the black devotion over the white devotion. So I'm gonna take Tormented here. Another Feral Invocation. He's feeling kind of late. Panika. I guess this is a SIP deck. If it's just another top end card, I kind of want to take Cure. What do you guys think? Take the elk and splash the Reaver. Nope. Probably want the heart. No way. I'm gonna take a removal spell here. Well, I guess I took Cure because I timed out. But I think I like Cure, even though it's like weird on the mana with this thing. I think I just want the cheaper things since my top end is already looking to be so good. Hide this. Grizzly Bear is totally fine. Obviously not using this to any good effect. Yay! Awesome Defender, Black Devotion, etc. I think we already have one of these, don't we? Whatever, it's not a good card. I'd rather take the second Glare and just smash the White Mirror. I know you have to pull up the chat to know that you guys want to take this and splash the Reaper, but that's not happening. There's like all these double blacks and a bunch of cheap whites and a double white. It's not reality. What? Yeah, this card's pretty good, but I understand why it goes late. But this thing shouldn't be this late. So this is one of the things that's sweet with this guy. You just hit yourself, and then you get back all your sweet dudes. I guess I take it here, even though Last Breath is like fine sideboard card. I have Scholar too. Yeah, I'm gonna take this thing. Not necessarily main deck. It's a really good sideboard card against grindy decks. People think that it's just like either not playable or they're like, oh, I'll play it. But you want it in deck in matchups where like your guys are trading off and the like card advantage matters, like the effect that you get of getting back two guys. Like they don't have a bunch of Messian Asps and you have like no Death Touchers. Like the situations like that, getting back two guys, even though it's card advantage in a grindy matchup, it's not actually like furthering your position at all. Um, you just have to think about like it's more dynamic than people give it credit for, which I guess is true of pretty much every Magic the Gathering card. So I need to stop saying that sentence. Even though we're not aggressively stanced, I think Heliod's Emissary is still better than the 3-drop. You just like cast it, and it's so hard for them to win a race. Oh, sucks passing Sea God's Revenge, since obviously that card is just stupid. This is like the blankest pack ever for us. I mean, it's kind of blank for everybody. There's like 2 good green cards, 1 good blue card, and this thing's like playable. This thing's playable. Yeah, third God's Willing that is. Deck is just not good. It's like the third asp, second asp we've seen. Definitely can't put a second one of these to use. I don't really want a Battle-Wise Valor when I have Onslaught, Battle-Wise Valor, triple God's Willing, and like some bestow things. So I guess I take second Read the Bones. Could also take Amulet and try and splash Reaper. I mean, Reaper is good when you turn 4 it, is the problem. It's like not that great of a splash card. I guess I just take Read the Bones. Yeah, Read the Bones. Two black-white cards and a card that I would play, although this is not the ideal Divine Verdict deck. Another card that's more of an onion than people give it credit for. I actually think I'm taking Scholar here. My top end looks pretty good, and this thing's good late. This is just like an extend the purpose card, and this is like just a big fat flyer. Yeah, I might be able to wheel it actually. I mean, I doubt it, but I guess there's like Verdict in this pack. Yeah, it might wheel. It is possible. I've seen crazier things, such as Nimbus Naiad going a million. In case you don't know, this card's borderline unbeatable. Just take a 2-drop. I don't mind the semi-off color temples, but I'm not going to take it over a creature when we could definitely use a blocker. I actually like Boon a lot, but we obviously don't need it in this deck, so I'm just going to take another 2-drop. Spec's pretty insane. Feral Invocation and a Smart Bird. This card's actually quite good as well. This card is silly. I'm actually thinking about taking this. We now have 3 2-power 2-drops, 4 2-drops total, and this is kind of a 2-drop. Battle-wise, Valor is definitely not the pick. So if we don't need this and don't need this, I guess you take this. Yeah, I took this thing. Somebody was saying something about Witch's Eye that I didn't understand. Yeah, Flame Speaker combo. Yeah, same thing I said about Glare applies to this guy. Although I would say this is much worse than Glare, because white permanents are way more relevant than black creatures. So much so that half the mana and instant speed isn't necessarily worth it. I'm going to take Bronze Sable over the Showstopper. I really don't think Natalie Portman has any good uses in this set. I shouldn't say any. Has so few uses that I'd rather just have a 2-1. We take this 5 cents. Alright. Guess we take Battle-wise Valor. I can see us wanting this more than us not wanting to play against this. Pretty marginal, but yeah, our last breath table. I would play the 2-3 over this in this deck. For whatever that's worth. Especially because we saw like a million Vapor Kings. A million being like 3. I took Scholar. Sentry did not take Bolton. You are correct. Yeah, she might. That's good. That's good. I like that. No, I didn't take Verdict. Verdict is Stains, at least in this deck. Verdict has a home, and this ain't it. Playing 1 Battle-wise Valor, I think. Or maybe I played 2 Battle-wise Valor and not Dauntless. Main decking this thing. This is a maybe. This is another maybe. Another maybe. Yeah, I'd like these two. Let's look at this curve. This is probably a 17 lander. I do a lot of like 14 and 15 lands, and I do a lot of like 18 lands plus an amulet, or plus an amulet and a Voyaging Satyr or whatever in this set. But this looks like a solid 17 land deck. Like it has a couple of mana problems, but not really. Just like the 1 double white couple early whites and then double black later. And there's enough uses for the mana that you could go 18. Double Scholar, Stone Emissaries, Monstrosity, this thing. Make sure you cast this in a reasonable amount of time. But with double Read the Bones, I feel comfortable playing 17 or 18. So the decision is, let's pull the maybes over here. I don't think I want a third God's Will. Well, named after Last Breath. I don't think I want Centaur without March or March without Centaur. I don't think I want a 5-mana thing either. So these two, any two of these, or one of these and an 18th land. Yeah, Cacking Scry is one of the reasons that, or one of the uses that Return Centaur has. Done some good work with that. They play like they're, Artisan Sorrow and Scry both to the top, and you just. Centaur and March package is weak, especially because we have like some things that trade off early, and we need to stabilize, and we have a bunch of other sweet things. Cut Hiker, run random 2/4 and 06 and 18. I don't know how I feel about that. You could cut Snarecaster and play Centaur in March and 18. David, the greatest. Dauntless is great even with one heroic IMO. I mean, it's fine. I don't think it's better than any of our other options, necessarily. I mean, it's not like I'm that aggressive. Obviously, it's sweet when you're like attacking with Emissary and another thing, and you tap, and they like block and trick or whatever. And you're like, blow out +2. But I don't know if +2 damage is worth the extra mana minus a scry. Especially since I only have 1.5 heroic triggers. I'm only really willing to cut 1/2 drop ands only if we're adding the O3. I think those are my feelings. This is what Aku suggested. Honestly, I think if I'm doing this, I want to do this in 17. This takes a lot of the punch out of any sort of pressure draws that we could have. I mean, 06 instead of a 2/1 with upside, aggressive upside. I think this makes the game more drawn out, which is another reason to play less lands, even though I'm pretty mana hungry. What's up, Shamkus? Yeah, I guess with double 1/4s and two God's Willings to protect it. I kind of like God's Willing in this deck, to be honest. I can't quite articulate why yet, at least. Yes, sir. I'm currently streaming from my new apartment in Las Vegas. You guys only get to see this like dingy corner. I guess it doesn't look too dingy. It's dark though. This light bulb went out right before I started streaming. I said, "Fuck it." Um, under 2 minutes. I've never gotten a time in deck building, but this one's actually really close. Could also do like play the Centaurs at 2/4, play like this to 17, have more aggressive potential, and then use the later stuff to just like finish them off with these. Use this as reach. This guy looks pretty stupid in that deck, but yeah, not a fan. I guess we'd have to play both of these and probably even this to pull that off. Alright, let's just do this in 17. To read the bones, and like, this thing cycles, and 3 scry things that are relatively cheap. Yeah. It's like 9/8. My double blacks aren't until later, and I really want these white 2-drops. Even though you can cast the Bronze Sable off of just swamps, I think Snarecaster is still better, especially with double Heliod's Emissary. You can get some pressure draws. Not necessarily like aggro draws, but you can get into favorable race situations. That otherwise Bronze Sable would be, not a good top deck, but Snarecaster is good. It happens. I don't want to be aggressive necessarily. Like, there's a difference between pressure and like outright aggression. You know what I mean? Bronze Sable, yeah, I do. I'm just not playing it. I think we still play first. This is the exact type of hand that I would pull up. Alright, this is more reasonable. Leave the swamp because we have Panika. Karika's Cure. Check out my giant Gatorade. It's so hard to stay hydrated in Las Vegas. It's insane. I'm just like constantly drinking water or Gatorade or um, what's it called? Coconut water. Oh, stuff is so good. It's like $3 for a little pouch, but it just makes you feel amazing because it's literally just water and like potassium. It's just perfect for dehydration and like hangovers and stuff. What's up, belligerent new? I had it sorted by curve. You'll see it sorted by curve again. Yeah, coconut water is the nut. The coconut. I also have like this weird sinus thing. It's like the dry air in the desert or something. We missed you so much, Narwhal. I didn't know she was gone. Do I have any SCG casting? Well, my fly's open. Haha, good thing you guys don't get to see that. Or too bad you don't get to see that. Any SCG casting coming up? No, they have not scheduled the next quarter yet. But I will hopefully be getting some dates. Glenn's room is open, by the way. Cool. When are you moving here? Never. I I don't think you understand. I would not survive in Rona. Like, it may be a free roll for you, CVM, because when like I go on my murderous rampage, I'll probably pass you over because I like you a lot. But everyone else in Roanoke would probably die. I would absolutely lose it if I lived there. What's up, Freshlop? Is my place near the strip? Yeah, it's pretty close to the strip. Far enough away to be safe, thank God. My other place was not, as I'm sure I'll tell the story at some point. But yeah, this place is a good distance. Grimblaster is a pretty weird thing to say. Moving to premium was not only not Todd's choice, but also does not make him a jerk. If you don't have SCG premium, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you. Dude, he said he would start when I got off, and I'm only streaming this one draft tonight. There's a casino like 3 hours away. Yeah, or there's a casino a 20-minute walk away. All right, let's battle. I would not like to mulligan to 5 cards. Panika, we. My back is so bad. This chair is like terrible. It's like this old chair that Gabe just like left in the apartment. I haven't gotten like uh, a good desk chair yet for myself, so I've just been using this. Although I haven't been using it that much, I've been laying down for the most part since my back is so bad. I can't sit at all, let alone in this terrible, terrible chair. I don't know how he dealt with it. Ugh. All right, my guy's back from the dead. He's like yours, but he's back from the dead. Myself, because I have March. Well, I hit Gary. Now I just need to hit March. There were like 3 feral indications, 2 or 3, so probably not blocking here. Oh, he's tanking, which makes me want to block. It's hard to pick up timing tells on Moto because you don't know if he's just like taking a drink of water or if he's actually tanking. Good night, CBM. I'll have you Skype in once I get my stream going again. We'll have some good times. Did the move go slowly, smoothly? Not quite. Gary, yeah, Gary, the traveling insurance salesman. Draw a little bow tie, or not bow tie. Draw a little necktie on him. Goes door to door. Ooh, that is a good card for this, especially because the mana works out quite conveniently. We did pass a Savage Surge, but I feel like if he has it, I want him trading the Savage Surge for this thing right now. Sweet. There's also a possibility that even if he had Savage Surge, he wouldn't cast it for fear of Lash. But that's like a overall pretty small percentage thing. It's more that I was just willing to trade this for this at that point in the game, even though it's like better for his mana. Um, I think that this in play is just less valuable than this in his hand. Even with the mana, like I might be able to choke him on a later turn by forcing him into a spot where he wants to use this, but also wants to cast a spell and can't do both. But at the same time, the other thing that I said. Also, look at this centaur theme we got going on. This huge one got even huger to kill the already dead one. Now he's communing with the gods. Alright, so he's got the Warrior's Lesson warrior deck. He's already a warrior. How do you teach him? I'm off it. Alright, so we did take the mana thing, which is a little scary because that means that he's got, you know, double black cards and or huge cards. But not much we can do about it now. Traveling Pillhop. The showstopper. Alright. Weebo. I'm only working on one monitor. Are you talking to me? Do I have a Darth Vader voice? That is a good card to turn into nothing. Turn into dissolution. Does it mean like dissolving? Take your pick, kid. Double blocking for another Savage Surge or a Feral Invocation. Boon is a little unfortunate. I'm gonna blast this though. Flavor text is bad. No replacement art because this is my first stream. It's a test stream, man. Dissolution is dissolving? Alright. What's up, Blue Spider? Alright. We're in the enviable position of wanting to draw either lands or spells. Like nothing's bad, you know? I'm just gonna cast this, blocks this, and I'm gonna want to cast. I'm like trying to tap him. just, did you guys see that? I was like tapping his avatar. I'm like, tap him! Come on! What was I gonna say? Oh, because I also want this in play if I play this the next turn, because then I can sack a non-player. Because then I can go 8, 7, or whatever, depending on what I draw. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Batterskull, Mr. Batterskull. I was wondering the same thing. I've been motoing, I just haven't been streaming. That's not true. I didn't moto for like 2 months, but I've been motoing a ton the past like 2 weeks. Like, not a ton, not as much as I did when I was 16, but like I don't know, averaging 3 drafts a day for like 10 days. Yeah, never beating this. This guy's a really good matchup against us, I feel like. He's black, but he doesn't have any black creatures. This is exactly what I was talking about. Like, if the black thing were a direct parallel to Glare, I would be able to board it in for this thing. But I can't. Definitely block here. It would be awesome if he showed me another trick before I died, because I'm going to lose this game no matter what. And if he just monstrosities this, then I save 3 points. Is he short mana? Oh, he has to use Poison Saber. Just Jester got. Alright, take a million. What am I at? 7? 8? Land. That's exactly what I wanted. Creature. Alright. Alright. This would be a hell of a comeback. I can't imagine this works out. But, you gotta try, you know? What are you gonna do? He's gonna give up? He's gonna scoot? Right click. It's right there. This is bold. I was trying to think if there was like a way I could chump and eat this, but then I have a 2/2 versus a 3/3 plus this thing. Doesn't actually work. So excuse me, it's not bold, it's actually just a 3 point of damage. Monstrous. I like how it labels it as monstrous. Because like, what if you get 5 counters on it through, 3 different ordeals? Hmm? You can still activate it. What is this guy doing? Every single card he's played has been a hit. And he's got the fucking... what's his name? Starchy. Starchy the Gravekeeper. Yeah, right. I could keep playing, but he doesn't have any cards in his hand. Play. I get back a 2-drop, and Ray Merchant doesn't even do it. Block, take 5. Gray Merchant, go back up to 4. Block, take 5. Alright. I've seen enough. Last Breath is really good against the Mana guy, the Staunch Heart Defender, or Staunch Heart Warrior. I guess that's it. But to the guy saying I didn't have a Bronze Sable, I would like to point you to my Weasel. Please look at my Weasel. This thing's probably too slow. It's not like he's going to answer this anyway. I say that, watch it get sipped this game. I kind of want, like, another trick. Trick out his trick. The problem is one of his tricks was Boon, which Battle-Wise Valor doesn't even help against. He's got the Lash, Surge, and Boon. I guess God's Willing is good, right? Drop this thing since I don't have March anymore, and it's actually not that good against him. Or maybe the 2/4 is better than the 2/1. Since he's got like 3/3s and shit. Alright. Sold. Alright. I think I need to play first. Even though it's like we're both mana heavy decks. Because I actually think that not that I necessarily think I can get underneath him, but I need to get some sort of board presence going before we get to the like mid-late game where he starts slamming fatties. I need to already have a board presence. I can't like play catch up from that point. And I think being on the draw sets you up for exactly that borderline unwinnable scenario. So since he's missing a color and didn't have a drop, I'm gonna just get on board here. Since I'm gonna play this the turn after anyway, that I can read into something else. All right, he's got Anikas. At least I thought he did. I would think for sure he would use it on this once I cast this. You don't want to use it pre-combat because I might play something more important than this, like a 3/2 instead of. All right, he does. Yeah. All right, I'm a genius. This guy's a fool. Hurrah! Now I got the old Overlord no Black Devotion symbols draw again. When Turtle Beats is right. Ooh, a Mist Cutter. Have you ever played like a heavy blue deck and had your opponent cast this thing? It's fucked up. It's like one of the it's like one of the worst feelings in limited history. What does he get? Mist Cutter? I feel like he's about to miss this land drop too. Oh, no. Just tanking. Ooh, I should not have played this. I just clicked it instinctively. That was foolish. Suppose I'm kind of priced in to put in the Swamp on top with the Overlord and the Scholar. Mistcutter and Vintage. Jesus. A Lotus powered Mistcutter? Dude, this card is just fucked up. It's kind of tilting that I drew a Swamp after putting one to the top. Do I want this Battle-Wise Valor? Um, like there's a universe, right, where next turn I attack, tap this, and he blocks with like a Messian Asp or a 3/3 or something. That universe exists. Or like this thing as a 4/4 or 5/5. There's a universe where I have to trade this for one of these. But I'm gonna cast this the turn after anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna bottom it. That universe exists, but I don't think this is that universe. That's a really cute draw. That's adorable. Who's a good little Windsteed rider? More white devotion symbols, go. You. Hasu. Whip of Erebos. That's gonna be real hard to beat. Okay. Jeez, he's got a fox in here too. I guess I'm just like priced into chumping these infinitely. Or I guess I could trade this for this. At least this thing can't get whipped. I don't see myself like soaking up 4 and winning. Tap it down. Savage Surge is fucked up. You got me. I got reinforcements, kid. I knew as it was happening this deck wasn't going to work, but I didn't think that we would lose this handily. This get served this righteously. What? I was using that. President blocking because he has a thingy. I need to draw a raid pretty much immediately. Make this a 6/6. Price out Hydra. What do you got? You got 1, 2. This thing costs 7. So if we don't have a land, I can actually. Oh wait, no, he has this thing. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. You can Hydra as a 6/6. If he has a land inside him, this doesn't price out anyway. What's the alternative though? Like put it on this, so I have a 7 toughness blocker. But that's only good against exactly this thing. Like this will overcome it eventually. What do you guys think? I think I might have to put it on the Winds Deteriorator. Yeah, Whip is a really stupid magic card. I'm not actually sure what I'm accomplishing with all this. It's like if he didn't have a land, he would have to attack before casting Hydra, or cast Hydra and trade it. If he had a land, nothing I did mattered anyway. Pretty unfortunate. We read so many bones. Get under the bus, Harvey. A sentence I've said many times since coming to Vegas. Giant post-combat miscoder. Does this tilt anyone else, the like improper usage of X spells, where they add all the mana and then click the symbol a million times? Like just float a green and then tap it with the untap it with the voyaging thing, then click on your mist cutter, and then every mana you add to your mana pool automatically goes into X. You save like half the clicks. I don't know why I'm still playing. Let's just jump another draft. Five in the queue. Get in! Get in! Yeah, man, you gotta fight it out. You gotta fight it out.